Good afternoon. I'm Shawnee Yao, and this is One News Now. The Health Department has reported 12 new local cases of the more infectious Delta COVID variant. 6 of the Delta cases were detected in Central Luzon, 3 in Metro Manila, 2 in Calabarzon, and 1 in the Bicol region. The DOH has noted that all 12 Delta cases have been tagged as recovered, but their COVID test results are still being validated by the DOH regional and local health offices. Total Delta infections in the country now stands at 47. The tandem of Senate President Tito Sotto and Senator Panfilo Lacson is now gearing up for the 2022 polls. For the details, we have Mean Los Baños joining us live from Rizal. Mean, does this tandem already have a senatorial slate?
Yes, Sean, this early, Senate President Tito Sotto has revealed 10 names which will make up the Lacson-Sotto senatorial slate for 2022 elections. Included in the list so far are J.V. Ejercito, Chis Escudero, Win Gatchalian, Richard Gordon, and Gringo Onasan, as well as Goyo Larrazabal, Loren Legarda, Lucy Torres Gomez, Joel Villanueva, and Nick Subiri. Sotto clarified, though, that this is not the lineup of their party, Nationalist People's Coalition, or NPC. Instead, these are the hand-picked names of Sotto and Lacson who they think deserve a place in the upper chamber. They plan to endorse these individuals, but they can also be adopted by other parties to boost their connections. Half of the people in the list, Sean, are NPC members, while others have a party of their own, such as Torres Gomez. Sotto said it was the camp of Congresswoman Torres Gomez who reached out to him to be a part of the lineup. As for the remaining 2 slots, Sean, Sotto said they're looking at 4 to 5 names to complete their slate. He said he will be talking to someone he refers to have a quote-unquote big name this Saturday, but refused to disclose who it is. Let's hear more from Sotto, Sean.
Masagot ko yung tanong na yan dahil meron kaming kausap na malaking tao na baka sa Sabado magkasundo kami. Sa Sabado ko nasasagutin siya. May mga suggestions ng reforma Baka may suggestion ng Aksyon Demokratiko. Hindi nga lang pwede pa si Bico. Underage Saka kailangan pa siya sa Pasig
Sean, Senate President Sotto said he will have a meeting with his party mates in NPC this coming July 28 to discuss the senatorial slate and possible alliances with other parties. Sean?
Thank you for that update. That was Mean Los Baños joining us live from Rizal. And some Filipino caregivers are set to depart for Israel after the Philippines lifted the deployment ban to the Middle Eastern country. In today's Laging Handa briefing, POEA Administrator Bernard Olalia said 50 caregivers will be flying on July 27. The agency is now processing the deployment of close to 400 caregivers, which was halted back in May.
At dahil tapos na po ang gulo sa bansang Israel, minabuti ng ating mahal na Secretary of Labor after consultation with the DFA na i-lift na po yung temporary suspension. 50 po na caregivers ang unang batch na lilipad at sila po ay paptugo ng Israel under the G2G deployment po natin.
We'll have more stories after this quick break. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Cabinet members have assured the public that they will keep climate change in mind during the president's final year in office. Shyla Francisco is joining us live from Makati to tell us more about that. Shyla, what were the key points during today's pre-SONA forum?
Sean, Cabinet Secretary said addressing climate change continues to be a top priority even as the fight against COVID-19 continues. During the pre-SONA forum held earlier today, Environment Secretary Roy Cimado said the dip in carbon emissions amid the pandemic was not enough to decrease the atmospheric concentration of greenhouse gases. Back in April, the Philippine government committed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 75% by 2030. This is in accordance with the Paris Agreement on Climate Change. Under the agreement, developed nations have the obligation to help fund climate change activities in developing countries. The Philippines contributes 0.3% of the global carbon emission. Still, the country has existing programs to help lower emissions, like tapping more renewable energy sources. This includes expanding hydro and geothermal sources and opening geothermal projects to foreigners. Meanwhile, to help address the direct impacts of climate change, the Environment Department has started dredging river basins in areas more vulnerable to flooding. Aside from Marikina River Basin, they are now dredging and widening the Cagayan River Basin and Bicol River Basin. Sean, the DNR admits that some of these projects won't be completed by the end of President Duterte's term, but they are hoping that the next administration will sustain the gains of the projects. Sean?
Thank you for that update. That was Shyla Francisco reporting to us live from Makati City. Here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. Members of the IATF are set to meet later today to discuss the measures against the possible spread of the highly infectious Delta variant. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said they will probably revisit the policy allowing children aged 5 and above to go outside of their homes. Tokyo Olympic organizers said that the opening ceremony show director Kentaro Kobayashi has been fired over a comedy skit referencing the Holocaust. Olympic chief Seiko Hashimoto cited Kobayashi's performance in the past, where he used language that, quote, mocked a tragic part of history. And China has ordered local authorities to improve urban transit flood controls after a dozen people were killed in a submerged subway. The country's Ministry of Transport said they should immediately re-examine and rectify all hidden risks on rail transit ahead of other natural disasters. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.